formally introduce Robin and Amy here. So this afternoon, we're going to learn how to best utilize all of the Better Business Bureau's free programs and services to help make more educated and informed consumer decisions. We're going to receive information about the BBB's accreditation and standards of trust and discover tips on how to avoid falling victim to scammers. The Better Business Bureau is a nonprofit. I'm probably stealing all your lines here. The Better Business Bureau is a nonprofit public service organization which has been helping consumers make smarter decisions for over 100 years. And this presentation will be made by Amy Schramm, who's the BBB's Community Relations Manager. But wait, there's more. Also here with us is Robin Putnam, who's the Research and Special Projects Manager from the Office of Consumer Affairs and Business Regulation. Try saying that 5 times fast there. She's also going to give a brief presentation on identity theft, and she'll offer tips on how to spot and avoid scams and how to prevent identity theft. So all 10 of us or so, let's give a big round of applause to Amy and Robin.
Thank you.
And thank you to Brian Dorrington from Tewksbury Telemedia for filming this afternoon's presentation.
Thank you so much. Thank you all so much for being here. It's our pleasure, and it's really been a joy being able to collaborate with Robin and her office, the Office of Consumer Affairs. And actually, I was thinking maybe you would start and introduce
Sure.
your agency, and then we'll jump into the BBB side of things.
Sure. So, excuse me. Thank you again for being here. Appreciate you taking the time. So I work for the Office of Consumer Affairs and Business Regulation, OCABRA. It's kind of shortened it up a little bit. We are a state agency located in Boston, and part of my job is to get out into the communities to get information to consumers so that everybody can make better educated decisions. We have 5 state agencies that are underneath us. We have the Division of Banks, Insurance, Professional Licensure, Telecommunications and Cable, and Standards. If you ever have a situation that you want to get a hold of us, we have a helpline that's run Monday through Friday from 9 to 4:30, 617-973-8787. We field between 300 and 500 calls every single week. It could be complaining about a scam that you've heard. It could be you want to file a complaint against a business or a contractor. You name it, we've heard about it, and we encourage people to call us if you have comments, questions, or concerns. Our website has lots and lots of information. Anything you could possibly want to know statewide, that can be helpful for you. And it's been wonderful to collaborate with Amy's office just to get out into these communities to let people know what's available to them. 2 of the programs that we run through our office one is the Home Improvement Contractor Registration. In Massachusetts, if you're going to do work on your own home that's over $1,000, that contractor actually has to be registered through our office. It's a law. We have a complaint program through that, as well as an arbitration program, and we have a guarantee fund that can pay consumers back up to $10,000 in actual losses. We also run the state lemon laws, so if you buy a car and it turns out to be a lemon, there are laws to keep you safe. Please call us and we can help. And the state data breach reporting. If there's a data breach and it affects one consumer in Massachusetts, it has to be reported to my office, as well as the Attorney General's office. And when they come in, there's about 2 or 3 of us who actually go through and read through every single data breach that comes in. So I'm on the road between 30 and 40 times every month. It's kind of fun to get out into the communities instead of sitting behind a desk all day long. And it's been really a joy. So Amy and I have just been collaborating, and it's nice to kind of get out a little bit.
Yeah,
thank you.
We deliver close to 200 free programs every year on behalf of the Office of Consumer Affairs, Mass Office of Consumer Affairs, and the Better Business Bureau. So the Better Business Bureau office that I represent is located in Marlborough, Massachusetts. But we serve from that one office all of Eastern Massachusetts, all of Maine, all of Vermont, and all of Rhode Island. So on any given day, I'm in any one of those areas delivering programs. So whenever I'm in Massachusetts, it's nice to be able to join forces with Robin in her office and tag team the efforts and meet people within our communities. You know, the Better Business Bureau has been around, like Robert mentioned, for over 100 years, and we're a nonprofit organization, and all of our programs and services are free to the public, including our free Speakers Bureau. And most of the topics that we deliver programs on are on the content of scams and fraud and identity theft, but sometimes it's nice just to get out and be able to tell people about our office and who we are and what we do, because I think that a lot of people are familiar with the name Better Business Bureau. Most people have at least heard of us, and that's for a number of reasons, but I think one of the main reasons is because a lot of people have utilized BBB's free services after they've had an issue or a problem with a particular business or a product that they may have purchased. And so people know to contact the Better Business Bureau after the fact. People know to file complaints against businesses, and they know that we essentially serve as the middleman between the two parties. And it is something that we do. We field complaints every single day, but what we really want people to start doing is to utilize our free services in advance of making those decisions. Before you're choosing a contractor to work with, or purchasing a product from an online retailer, or choosing your new chiropractor or physical therapist, utilize our database. And our database in particular has over 5.5 million businesses that have been rated and reviewed. 5.5 million businesses within our BBB database. And you can access that information. I'm going to reference this handout quite a bit. And you can access all of that information via our website, naturally. So bbb.org, and you can reference that via the top right-hand corner of the handout. We have our website, bbb.org. We have an email address, of course, where you could email inquiries and receive a response within one business day, or our phone number. So if you're not a computer person, and even if you are a computer person, but you'd still prefer to speak to an actual individual and have your questions answered in that form, please feel free to utilize this phone number. I recommend that if you're going to call, just call between the hours of 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. You're guaranteed, or almost guaranteed, I should say, to speak to an individual if you call within those hours. If you do not reach someone, or you're contacting us before 9 a.m. or after 3 p.m., there is someone that will give you a call back within the next business day to be able to answer your inquiry. But the website is such an incredible, useful tool because we can access it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if your roof starts leaking at 3 a.m., you can pop onto bbb.org, and you can already start doing the research of who it is you're going to call, maybe at 8 a.m. the next morning or 9 a.m. the next morning. But I think more than anything, it's just important to know that the resources are out there. There are resources out there, whether it's contacting Robin's office, the Attorney General's office, contacting the Better Business Bureau. We want people to utilize our free services. And this database of over 5.5 million businesses is a really great starting off point when you're thinking about hiring a business or working with a business or signing a contract. And any type of business or industry that you can think of, we have information on. So I think for a long time, people also thought of the Better Business Bureau as someone maybe to contact about the roofers and the contractors and the plumbers and the auto mechanics, and that's true, but now it's really any type of industry and any type of business. So you might want to know that the organic food store that you're purchasing products from is actually legitimate and selling organic products, or that the online retailer is legitimate, or that your new realtor is in good standing within the business to consumer community. So any type of business or industry that you can imagine, you can find information on. And we're hoping that people will use us in advance. And the website in particular is incredibly user-friendly. So let's just say you were looking for that plumber, and you visited bbb.org, and you typed in plumber to the search bar, and then your zip code. There are a number of businesses within your area that would pop up. And what we don't do, and what Robin's office doesn't do either, is advocate one way or another for a particular business. We will always just say, look, these are the facts that we know about these businesses, and these are the facts that we know about these businesses. And we put out as much good, helpful, educational information as possible to allow the people looking for this information the best opportunity to make the best decision for themselves, the best educated decision on who it is that they want to work with. So let's just say that you typed in plumber and your zip code, and let's just say 10 plumbers in your area popped up. What you may notice next to some of those business names is this BBB logo. So if you pulled in after I got here, you may have seen it plastered all over my vehicle, this BBB Torch of Trust. I tend to tell people in simple terms, it helps serve as like a thumbs up for people. When you see this, you know that there's research that has been done. So when you are searching for these businesses, you are going to notice that some of them do utilize this BBB seal, and that means that they have been approved as an accredited business with us. So of the 5.5 million businesses within our database, we have about 420,000 of those 5.5 million businesses that are accredited businesses. They're the businesses that get to utilize the seal because they have applied for accreditation status and they've proven to us that they can live up to our 8 standards of trust. But just because a business has the seal does not mean that we would still advocate for you to choose this business over a business that didn't have this seal. If a business doesn't have this seal, it doesn't mean that they may not also be good, credible, reliable, trustworthy, transparent. It just means that they haven't, well, there's a few different things it could mean, but one thing that it could mean is that they just haven't taken that next step. They haven't taken that step to apply for accreditation, or it could mean that they have and they were declined because they didn't live up to our 8 standards of trust. And so it's important to click on the business profile beyond just maybe seeing the seal. We want you to see the seal and know that that means that there's been research that's been done for you. For example, one of the standards that businesses have to hold themselves accountable for, or that we hold businesses accountable for, is that they're properly licensed and certified depending on the industry. So a business would never be approved for accreditation status if they fell within an industry where there was a license or certification necessary. And actually, in regards to home improvement contractors, through Robin's office, all home improvement contractors throughout the state of Massachusetts need to be registered through her office. So we cross-reference quite often with Robin's office in ensuring that businesses are being truthful in the application process too. But not only when it is revealed that they are properly licensed and certified, we receive that information, the legal information, the numbers, the license numbers, the certification numbers, and we keep that within our system, and we display it on the business profiles as well for people to be able to see that yes, this is legitimate. And so you may see this symbol and you may not. What you may also see, or what you will also see within every business profile, is a letter grade A through F. And this is a newer feature that we started, I can't think of the specific date, but quite a few years ago, in particular because we wanted people to know that there may be non-accredited businesses that are trustworthy and reliable, like I was mentioning. So you may very well click on one of those plumbers that doesn't have the BBB seal and notice that they have an A rating. It's not uncommon to see a non-accredited business with an A rating. You would just never see an accredited business with an F rating. So there's that distinction there. There are wonderful non-accredited businesses. There would just never be an unethical accredited business that would ever have anything like an F rating or a D or C or something like that. So keep that in mind when you're looking for these businesses as well. And then on every business profile, you'll see the complaint section. If an individual has a complaint to file against a business, that complaint, once validated and verified, is displayed on that business's business profile. It stays there for 3 years. What I find even more interesting than being able to even necessarily just read the complaint itself is being able to see the response that the businesses are giving. Well, seeing if the business is even responding at all, and then being able to see how they're responding. And what we display is, again, the complaint, and then the response from the individual handling the complaint, and the entire dialogue that goes on back and forth. So we get to see it right there on each business profile. Complaints against a business may affect a business's letter grade and or their accreditation status. But we also have a customer review portion of each business profile. And this varies slightly from the complaint process in that you could write a positive review, a neutral review, or a negative review, and that may not affect the letter grade or the accreditation status of a business, but we created it because we wanted there to be an arena, we wanted there to be a space for people to be able to vocalize the types of experiences that they've been having with businesses. So a complaint, for example, may be something like, in simple terms, I ordered a washing machine and the business delivered a dryer, and they're refusing to come pick up the dryer and deliver the washing machine that I have evidence that I purchased and I'm waiting for. So that would be a complaint. You're looking for something very specific. You paid for something that was not received. A review of a similar situation would be, well, I ordered a washing machine and the business delivered the washing machine, but I really wasn't very happy with the customer service, or I didn't like the way that this happened. So it's much more subjective. So we want people to be able to vocalize those experiences, but there's an objectivity to the complaints process and there's a subjectivity to the customer review process. We also really wanted to create the customer review portion of the business profile because we wanted people to feel as though they could go right about their positive experiences. There's so much negative out there. We were really hoping that people would come and visit the business profiles of the businesses that they've been happy with and write about those good experiences that they've had. And we'll take questions in just a moment, but I do just want to wrap up into a little bit of a bow here, that beyond the 5.5 million business profiles that we have on bbb.org, we have information on charity organizations as well. You can access the charity portion of our website, our Wise Giving Alliance, via bbb.org. You'll see a charity portion, a charity button that you can click on, or you can just visit directly give.org. And that is such an incredibly useful portion of our website and what it is that we do and the information we put out there. Just as we should be researching the businesses before we're choosing who to work with, we really need to be looking into the charity organizations as well. Number one, we just want to know that they're legitimate first and foremost, because there's so many out there. How are we to know at just, first glance or at first hearing about a charity? And so there's information on that out there, and we want people to know that there's a resource tool. And then we have also partnered in the past, or collaborated in the past, I should say, with websites like charitynavigator.org, and so you would also be able to find a link on our website to charitynavigator.org as well, which is another great resource tool. And then we have information on our website on scams and fraud issues and identity theft concerns. We have an entire scams portion of our website. It is constantly being updated. You can access it directly on bbb.org. And in particular, we have a feature on our website. It's called a scam tracker. And we have a direct link to the scam tracker on the handout. I really encourage you to utilize it in a multitude of ways. And the first way that we can utilize it is to visit our scam tracker and to report what you have been experiencing, whether it's the phone calls, the emails, the text messages, the letters, the people knocking door to door. You do not have to necessarily have fallen victim to the particular scam in order to report it. In fact, we're hoping that you haven't, because we do not want you to have to deal with the aftermath of falling victim to the fraud issue, the scam itself. But we're looking for information, whether it's a phone number that's popped up on your caller ID, and we'll jump into that and why we can't necessarily rely on the caller ID anymore, unfortunately, fully. Or it's that somebody has left you a voicemail and they've left information on a particular organization that they're claiming to be from. Whatever information you can share via our scam tracker is incredibly useful, because the other purpose of this is that it's just somewhere for us to go and stay up to date on what other people have been experiencing and reporting. And so it's somewhere for us to go to report, and then somewhere for us to go and see what other people are reporting. So as everything is being registered as a potential scam through our scam tracker, it's generating more and more. And the database is incredible. You can search by your location if you're just curious about what's happening locally. You can search by a name of scam or a type of scam. For example, you could type in grandparent scam or IRS scam, or you could just type in phone scam or email scam or lottery scam. You can search by how much money has been lost by scam. And so there's so many ways for us to research what's going on and to just stay up to date, because I think one of the biggest issues that we run into is that we're just not aware of the the broader scam tactics that fraudsters are using. And when we are, we're less likely to fall victim to the issues at hand. And I do want to also mention that every piece of information we take in through our scam tracker, we share with the Federal Trade Commission directly. And so you can also report issues that you have noticed to the Federal Trade Commission, to the FTC, and we have their website and we have their phone number on the handout as well. So you can report it directly to them or through us, and we will share it with them. Either way, the information is going to get to the FTC, and that's who we really want to have it in terms of being able to potentially crack down on where these issues are stemming from. The FTC is the organization that would work with authorities to try to track down where these issues, again, are stemming from. And in particular right now, the FTC has been working very closely and diligently with the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, as well as major phone providers in trying to crack down on some of the robocall issues that we're dealing with that we can jump into in just a bit. But I did want to mention that you can report to them and they want to hear from us. The more they hear from us, the more likely it is that something can be done. This initiative, for example, of the FTC and the FCC working with the phone providers has only been made possible because people have been reporting and complaining about the issues at hand. But do not hesitate to visit the scam tracker either. Use it as a preventative method, just like you would be using our charity portion of our website as a preventative method in falling victim to maybe a fake charity or something like that. And the same thing goes for the business portion of our website as well. Our scam tracker alone, since the beginning of the year, has taken in over 34,000 scam reports, and it's a lot of information for sure. It's a lot of scams that have been reported, but oddly enough, it is nothing compared to all of the issues that are out there. So we're encouraging people to continue to utilize that source. That is a brief overview, believe it or not, of all it is that the Better Business Bureau covers and encompasses. But I would be happy to take questions for Robin and her office, the Office of Consumer Affairs, if you have anything direct, or anything BBB related before we jump into maybe some of the major scams that are circulating and identity theft issues. Anything in particular? Please.
Just out of curiosity, I wonder if businesses pay to get this.
That's a great question. So once a business applies for accreditation status and is approved, they've proven that they can live up to our 8 standards of trust, they're properly licensed and certified, they've been established as a business for at least 6 months, they don't have complaints filed against them, and if they do, they've responded to those complaints within our 30-day window. They are approved for accreditation status, and then they pay, and they pay a yearly due, and the due is based off of the number of employees that a business has, and we are completely transparent about what that number is, and you can access that on our website. Anybody can access and see how much a business might pay. And I think our first bracket is like 1 to 9 employees, and then 10 to 20 or something like that. But we have some businesses that have like tens of thousands of employees that are accredited, and then we have some businesses that are, like a mom and pop, a small brick and mortar coffee shop or something, where there's just one individual or 3 or 4. And so we wanted to make it affordable for people. It averages out to about $600 a year for a business. And there are many, many, many benefits then that accredited businesses can take advantage of based on those dues that they do pay. So that money goes towards the fact that Better Business Bureau is completely free to the public 100% of the time, including the outreach that we do, the 200 free programs that we do. And some of the benefits that businesses can take advantage of directly correlate to the seal itself. We have over 50 free products that accredited businesses can order, whether it's business cards, customer review cards, a card that looks just like this, that has a direct link to their business profile that they can hand to their clients and say, hey, if you had a great experience, would you mind writing a positive review? Yard signs, if it's a business that works out in the field and might want to display their accreditation status. Something as simple as, a BBB seal, a sticker for their envelopes, something like that. But also just the ability to utilize the seal on their websites as well. But you might notice this on branded vehicles for particular businesses. If they have like a branded truck, you might also notice the seal, or on a storefront if you're walking in, or an office that is accredited, if it's a lawyer's office or something and they have a BBB accreditation seal on there. And all businesses can take advantage of a lot of benefits, like, for example, uploading photos and videos to their business profile. So we encourage businesses to utilize their business profile, whether they're accredited or not, and upload information and make sure that all of their contact information is correct. But in particular, putting photos and videos on there, because we know that people are much more visual today, and we might just want to watch a quick little video on what the business does or who they are, as opposed to maybe like reading a paragraph about something. But accredited businesses have the opportunity to have us come out and film videos for them and take photos for them. So that's one of the added little bonuses for them and benefits for them. And then websites as well. A lot of businesses, especially small businesses, can't necessarily afford to hire a marketing company to develop websites for them and then manage it as well. They're very, very expensive. And one of the benefits for accredited businesses is that not only will our web development team create websites for them, we'll continue to manage it as well. So if they have a change of phone number, they contact us, we change it on the website. They want to upload a different photo, they contact us, and we will go out and take the photo, or they'll just send it to us and we'll upload it for them. So there are a lot of benefits that accredited businesses are allotted. And yeah, so that is what that would be for.
Just ask them as a follow-up, are they automatically renewed, or are they reviewed annually by you?
Always.
If there's a complaint, it keeps being...
Yes, constantly being reviewed, and monitored isn't the right word. I'm not able to think of the right word at the moment, but we're constantly monitoring the status of our businesses, especially in regards to the business to consumer relationship. So if there is a business that has been accredited for any number of years, 1 year or 50 years, and they have a complaint that's filed against them and they do not respond within that 30-day window that we give accredited business, well, we try to give every business, but we can't guarantee that a non-accredited business is going to respond at all, let alone within that 30 days. But we do have that for the accredited businesses. And if they don't respond within 30 days, we revoke their accreditation status. So we take our standards of trust very seriously, complaints in particular. And that is also why complaints against a business, formal complaints, may affect a business's letter grade and their accreditation status, as opposed to the review portion. And so it's really, really important to us that our businesses are continuing to adhere to those standards. And we've had businesses, I've noticed that there have been businesses that have been accredited for 30 years, and maybe new management comes in, or maybe it's old management, but they've decided to change their ethical tactics or whatever it might be, and they stopped adhering to our standards, and we revoke their status regardless of how long they've been with us. We want to make sure that consumers, that people can trust the businesses that they're working with beyond anything. That means more to us than having 5.5 million businesses utilizing that seal. Well, thank you all so much.
Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you
Have a
taking
good rest
time.
of your day.